Where? Agape?
Christ.
Christ. Yeah, it comes from Christ. It's the kind of Christ love that Christ had for the church. Us. And remember the characteristics of that love? It was unconditional. Yes. What else? Sacrificial. Yes. What else? Sorry? Non-judgmental. Yeah. It was a love that was built up the church. Remember? Built up the church. And then remember, it said that a man was to love his wife as his own body. Now, we've said that his own body is pretty important to him. Well, of course, all of our bodies are important to us. But this man, his body is important to him. So he takes good care of it, right? If he's sick, he gets medicine. If he's hot, he dives in Gina's pool. If he's cold, he puts on a jacket or a sweater. If he's lost, he looks at his GPS. If he's hungry, he hollers for his wife. You know, all of these things, he takes care of his needs. Well, Jesus said, like that, he is to take care of the needs of his wife. This is a big responsibility the Lord gives to the husband. He is responsible for all of the needs of the family, physical, emotional, and spiritual. All right, so now our question is, how do the descriptions of the men and women in the chart that we looked at concur with Scripture's description that I just kind of revamped for you? What have you got written? What did the Lord give you when you studied that this week? Anybody?
What is the question?
The question was, how do the descriptions of men and women on the chart, the emotion chart on page 35, concur with Scripture's description of the man and woman? Somebody that has had a chance to look at this and has something written down, read to us what you wrote.
Well, they mesh.
They mesh, right? They mesh, exactly. Obviously, God gave each sex characteristics that would fulfill the needs of the other. That would balance the needs of the other. He knew what he was doing when he created man and woman. He had a beautiful plan when he created man and woman. A plan for marriage, a plan for families. As I mentioned in the seminar, that was the very first institution. Before the church, before business, before government, the family. And he had a great plan. And he created us with that plan in mind. All right? Now let's take a look at the little illustration A in the center of the page here. This is talking about why sometimes men seem selfish and uninterested in others. They seem self-centered, more interested in what they want, what they like, what they need than they are other people. You get a man in conversation, and it doesn't take long often for the conversation to turn to himself. All right, let's see why this might happen. Our illustration tells us that he starts out with basic feelings of unworthiness. Okay? And then this leads to a turning inward, which means he's concerned about himself and his problems. He feels unworthy. That means people are not treating him right. And so he begins to think about why, what's wrong with me, what did I do, these kind of things. He's all self-absorbed. And then this leads to others who are seeing him from the outside and don't know what's going on inside. It looks like he is self-absorbed. It looks like he's selfish. It looks like he's not too interested in you, but he's more interested in what's going on with himself. And then, so what do people do? Do you like to be around people like that?
No.
not very comfortable to be around people that are just thinking about themselves, talk about themselves, only interested in themselves. So we just kind of try to put a little distance. Don't want to spend a whole lot of time with them. So what does that do? It reinforces this feeling of unworthiness. All right? Kind of a vicious circle there, isn't it? Self-defeating as it goes around. But we can see how these things can happen. All right, let's take a look at our questions. According to the above illustration, this is question number 4. What causes a man to turn inward and become discouraged?
Because of the basic feeling of unworthiness, yeah? Because like you said before, man is hard to express, feelings emotional, so they try to put inside us, yeah.
All right, okay. Netta said, basically his feeling of unworthiness, as we said, a man has a hard time expressing his feelings, so he's trying to cover it up, close it up, keep it to himself. Doesn't want to admit he's got these feelings. A man doesn't want to appear weak or lacking or unable, so just hide it. Hide it. Okay? What else? Somebody else has what for number 4?
Low self-confidence.
Low self-confidence. All right? Okay. Very definitely. And for those of you who were at the seminar, you know that that's part of the wife's responsibility. We need to build this man up. We need to help him feel confident in himself. All right? But this can contribute to the appearance of selfishness. All right, what else? Number 4.
Afraid to ask from woman's opinion. Afraid to ask.
Okay, he's afraid to ask his wife's opinion. He may be afraid she might be honest, and that her honesty would be a little bit different than where he stands on the feeling or the situation or whatever it is. And he's responding to the responses of people. If you don't want to be with me, then I feel even more unworthy. I may have started out by feeling unworthy, and then I see you distancing yourself from me, and so I feel even more unworthy, or I feel justified in my unworthiness. And well, yeah, I was right. Look at there. Nobody wants to talk to me, or nobody wants to come to my meeting, or whatever. So we have this thing going on here with men that we need to be aware of. This happens with them. All right. And also not just with them, but their tendency is this way. All right, let's look at question number 5. How might people wrongly interpret his lack of interest? What might they think that might not be true?
A number of things. People might think he thinks he's better.
Okay. A little bit louder, Judy.
It might be misinterpreted as though he thinks he's better if he's antisocial. So it's just,
Okay. He's better what?
Antisocial.
He's
people
better.
may interpret it as he thinks he's better if he's antisocial.
So he's arrogant, pride. Yeah. Anything else?
Ego.
Sorry?
Ego.
Ego. Yeah. Ego. Big ego. All right. Yeah. Right. Man, that guy is egotistic. Oh, boy. He doesn't love himself. All right.
Some men are just quiet.
Some men are quiet. Yes, that's right. In fact, we saw that example in the seminar, didn't we? We saw Bill was much more quiet. The judge, Tom, was much more quiet. But
Still have
You can.
yeah, he still has an ego, yeah. But you can kind of tell in conversation with even a quiet person, if he is, even a quiet person can be egotistical,
Yeah.
can be selfish, can be self-interested. Okay, So, you know, we just need to kind of keep this in mind as we interact, as we see our husbands and other men, that this is something they go through, and that maybe we should be careful before we judge them as being egotistical or selfish or uninterested, arrogant. All right, question number 6 says, why is the average man not eager to talk about his problems?
He's afraid to reveal his vulnerability.
He's afraid to reveal his
Vulnerability.
vulnerability. Yeah, very good, very good.
Maybe some of them find it difficult to articulate exactly how they feel. They might not know how to express it. Articulate.
Yeah.
So more not knowing how rather
How to
than not
express
being
it.
willing to?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe if they want to express that and then they think like, again go to ego. It's like, oh, they put me down low, kind of that.
Mhm.
You know, the prestige.
Mhm.
It's kind of, yeah, prestige is kind of low if I
So if he expresses
Yeah.
something and everybody else doesn't agree with it, he feels.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think men they do not express their problems as much as women because they don't like to share their problems. They keep it for themselves because they think they can handle it in their own way,
Mhm.
in their own time as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of that is exactly that. Again, coming back to the man's ego and his desire or need to be strong, to be
Mhm.
capable. You know, I've talked to men who said, "Why do I want to go to a counselor? I can take care of my own
Yeah,
problems."
yeah.
You know,
What's wrong with our
they
men?
want to be capable in themselves. I can do it. I am the man. You know, I don't need help. I'm strong. But you know, this is something I think that the Lord put in them in the early years for survival. You know, a man, and just think about it back before our age, when they had to go out and hunt to eat, feed their families, they had to be strong. They had to be able. They had to be confident. They had to be brave. They had to get out there and fight the animals, fight the elements. So that characteristic is, you know, it's not all bad. Not all bad. But yes, I think it is one of the reasons, though, why it's difficult for them to share their feelings, because it reveals a vulnerability. It reveals that they're admitting they may be weak on a certain point, or they may need help with something, or they may not know all the answers. This is very hard for a man. Very hard. Another thing that we as women, especially if you're married or going to be married, need to know about a man. All right, now let's take a look at the next chart. Excuse me. On the top of page 37. Top of page 37. Now here we have the other side. We have the feelings of worth. The first chart that we looked at, we saw what happens when a person has feelings of unworthiness. This chart shows us what can happen when they have basic feelings of self-worth. They recognize their value. Okay? This person is braver and more confident to reach out to other people, to show concern in them. They don't have to turn to themselves. They've already got self-confidence, so they can look at other people, turn out to others, show concern in others, not just in themselves. And then, as people look at them, they say, oh, that is a very loving person. Or that person reaches out to other people. That person thinks about the needs of other people. Did you see what so-and-so did for so-and-so? And the second so-and-so didn't even say anything, but this so-and-so recognized the need and did something about it. And so then as people see this person in that way, then that results in responses of caring and loving from others around them. So that's the kind of person we like to be around, isn't it? This first kind of person, we said, no, I don't think I want to spend too much time with that person. But this person we enjoy being with, because this person reaches out to us. This person shows care for us, right, or for other people. And that's a positive kind of person. That's the kind of person that we enjoy being with. So, as we gather around that person or respond positively to that person, that in turn builds up their sense of self-worth, which is where we start. Again, this is a positive, healthy cycle that starts with a positive note and builds, it comes around and builds on that positive note. All right, that in mind, let's look at question number 7. What feelings about himself motivate a man to express love and concern for others?
Self-worth, yes.
What feelings about himself motivate a man to express love and concern for others?
He feels good about himself.
Yes. He feels worthy.
Got self-confidence.
All right.
Self-image.
He's got a good self-image. He's got self-confidence. Yeah. What else?
Feel secure, feel worthy.
He feels secure. He feels worthy. All right.
Feel love.
He feels love. Yeah. He feels love. Somebody recognizes his value and loves him.
Accepted, just the way he is.
All right. He's been accepted the way he is. Right. I'm sure we're talking about a very nice guy here. It's not perfect, so is it?
It's hard, but it's accepted.
It's hard, but we do it. Okay, so he feels respected. He feels cared for, and then love. He feels loved. Okay, so this builds up his sense of self-value, his self-confidence, his self-concept is strengthened. All right. Now, somebody read for me, Nani, you have, okay, the little paragraph that's right under question 7. Would you read that for me? The two little paragraphs.
The man who feels good about himself has that attitude reinforced by the way other people treat him. Conversely, the man who feels worthless generally finds that feeling reinforced by the response of he evokes in others. The following actions can help you contribute to a basic feeling of self-worth in the man in your life.
Okay. Now that's basically what she just read. Kind of gives a kasimpulan of the two charts that we just looked at. All right. Now we're going to look at some specific practical things that we can do to build up this man in our life, or who's going to be in our life at some point. Tell you what I want us to do. Let's go back here to the back table. I haven't heard much back there. Tree, would you please read the first one and then mark to the second one and just go on. There's 5, just until 5, please. Real loud, okay?
At least, stay with us.
Yes.
At least once a day, compliment him on one of his good points. Okay.
This doesn't have to be a huge thing like blue to the moon. It could be that he's wearing a blue shirt and he's got beautiful blue eyes. So you compliment. Yes, I like the way that shirt looks on you. Something to say you've noticed him in a positive way. Okay, Martha.
At least one day,
No,
once a day, really listen to what he say and try to enter his process.
Okay, how many times are we like this? Yeah, honey, I know. Oh, really? Oh, that's good. Well, oh, is that right? Okay, well, yeah. What? What Really listen.
It says once a day.